to pay some
Of
sum.
course, the money that we want to use to run the production regularly. Example, to purchase the raw materials, to giving away wages for the workers in a factory or in agricultural field. All are example for what? Working capital. Working capital. For example, in a hotel, a jug that filled with water. The jug is example for a fixed capital because as a part of the tool. Every day they require that, right? But the water inside that jug is example for what? Working capital. Every day they have to refill it, right? Yes or no? So that's the difference between working capital and fixed capital. All right. So next comes human capital. Human capital. You know what is human capital, right? The workforce, the worker force, labor or laborers, skilled and unskilled. Both are example for a human capital. Human capital. So all these things you should learn properly because all these things we required for the future endeavor, other chapters. Okay, clear or not? So if any doubt means you can ask now. You have to clarify that. Clear? Clear? Basil? Atul and Muhammad Irfan, please turn on your camera. Amal Ke Saji, turn on your cameras, please. So we discussed about capital, fixed capital, working capital, and human capital. Human capital. These are the three different types of capital. Capital means the money that we are investing in production, agricultural production or industrial production. Okay. Next comes resource management. Resource management. The question comes: what is the resource? What is a resource? What is a resource? What is a resource? Anjo, what is a resource? Anjo.
Which can satisfy our needs.
The things basically that satisfies our needs is basically called as a resource, which have a utility. Whatever the thing which have some utility and value, and they want to satisfy our need. That's what utility. That's what a utility. Such kind of things are basically called as resources. Resources. Okay. So basically in this chapter we are discussing about how to utilize the limited resources. Limited resources. Okay. That's basically called to be resource management. Resource management. First of all, in resource management, what I want to do here, estimating how many of those resources you need, how much you require. Okay, what is our need? What is the want? Making a schedule that meets your deadline, which means how much resources we want, how we are going to utilize that. Okay, listing what resources you need. Okay, so we are making a list of various resources. From that, what are the basic resources we required in the present future? Present future. That's what. Clear or not? Or the close future, right? So these are the things basically we discussed related with the factors of production, land, labor, capital. Next we are going to discuss about organizer, right? Who's an organizer? Who is an organizer? The person. Who's an organizer? Tell me, someone tell me fast.
The person who's ready to invest money and
Invest money and
Run the business.
simply say so, the person or the group of people, they are linking all other three factors of production, okay, and starting production or making something new by linking all the other three means of production like land, labor, and capital. That person or that group of people or even the governments are basically called as the organizer. The organizer. What is the remuneration for the organizer? We already discussed. That is what? What is that?
profit or loss.
Profit or loss. Profit or loss. Risk factor is there. So now we are going to discussing about the problems in an economy. Problems in an economy. What are the problems we are basically facing in an economy? So we know that. Otherwise, it is called to be the central
Problems of an economy.
problems of an economy. Central problems of an economy. Okay. Central problems of an economy. What are they? What are they? How to produce. What to produce, and for whom to produce. Okay, we discuss all these things in the class here. So first of all, I am asking you to what to produce. What to produce. What to produce. Can Abdul say that? How can we analyze that question? What to produce?
Sir, producing commodities which are more necessary,
Of
and
course, yeah.
by taking the
So,
ratio of the people.
of course, very good, very good. Correct answer. Basically, the government or the producers want to think what is the basic need of the people. Okay, so we are producing as per the need of the society, or we are producing the commodity as per the number of people those who are living in the society related with their basic needs. Basic needs. Okay, so that's answer for the question. What to produce? What to produce? Okay, so Abdul told the correct answer. The next question. What is the next question, Tomlin? What is the next question? Or what is the next central problem in an economy?
For whom to produce?
Pardon? Before that, one other question is there.
How to produce?
How to produce? And tell me, how can we assess that?
Which method of technique?
Yeah,
should
what
we use?
techniques we want to use to produce, right? Is that
Yes.
correct? Yeah, what Tomlin George told is that correct. The thing is correct. And Hadi Amin is going to explain what are the two methods. What are the methods, Hadi? What methods we can use to produce? Two techniques are there, two methods are there. Hadi,
Yes, sir.
do you know the answer?
No.
You don't know, right? Muhammad Irfan, Hadi Amin attended yesterday's class? Not
Yes,
attended, right? Yes, attended.
sir. Yes.
So sad. So tell me, Muhammad Irfan, tell me, what are the two varieties? I mean, two methods. What are the two techniques in production? Connectivity trouble? Okay. Aishwarya, tell me, Aishwarya, what is that? What are they?
Labor intensive and
Yeah, labor intensive and
capital intensive.
capital intensive. Labor intensive technique and capital intensive technique. Two techniques are there in production related with the question how to produce. How to produce. Then Amalraj, tell me, what do you mean by labor intensive technique in production? Labor intensive technique.
Using more labor to produce goods.
Using more labor to produce the good than the machines, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? And what are the problems related with that?
Sir,
We are using more labor.
Production will be slow.
Low pace of production. Low pace of production. Speed of the production will reduce. Okay. Correct. What you told is correct. Next one, Sharath. Sharath. What do you make capital intensive technique? Capital intensive technique.
Using more machines rather than
Using more machines. Okay. What is the drawback of this technique?
lots of people will lose their jobs.
Of course, correct. Job opportunities will reduce in the society. Job opportunities will reduce. Okay. So the things are clear for you, right? Yes or no? Yes or no? Tell me.
Sir.
Okay, fine. Fine. So what to produce we discussed, and how to produce also we discussed. And the next question, what is the third question? What is the third question?
For whom to
Amal
produce?
Kasaji? For whom to produce, right? For whom to produce? Okay. Then tell me your feedback related with that particular question. How can we answer that? For whom to produce? Aparna?
The person who
Sir, it refers to a problem in which the decision regarding which category of people should consume the goods, that is relatively richer or the poor people.
Very good. Okay. So we want to think about which category of people are going to consume the product. The rich class or the poor class or the middle class people. So as per that, we are producing the good and allocating the good or supplying the goods in the market or the commodities in the market. So these three questions. These are the questions basically related with the central problems of an economy, what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. Okay, next question I want to ask you guys that what causes these central problems in the economy? What causes the central problems in an economy? Basil Bashir, what causes? What are the reasons for these central problems?
So resources are
Of course, resources are
limited.
Of course, resources are limited. Then
Wants are unlimited.
wants are unlimited. Then Last and final. Think and say. Who can say that? The last point. Who can say that?
Alternative uses of resources.
Alternative uses of the resources. Very good. Alternative uses of the resources. Who told that?
Aishwarya, sir.
Aishwarya. Very good, Aishwarya. Okay. Alternative use of the resources. These are the three things that basically leading to the central problems of an economy. What are they? What are they? Unlimited needs, limited resources, and alternative use of the resources. Alternative use of the resources. Okay. So now we are going to discussing about what is a simple economy. Simple economy. Economy means we know that the total financial activities, supply, demand, price, income, expenditure, everything is coming in that economy. Right or not? Basically, we know that economics is study of scarcity, study of scarcity. Here comes the next term that what we want to understand. What is that? Scarcity, right? You know what is scarcity? What is scarcity? What is scarcity? Grishma.
The shortage of supply of solution.
This is the unavailability of the resources what we required to meet our demands. That is basically called as scarcity, right? Yes or no? Yes or no, Miss Grishma?
Yes.
Your audio is not clear. That's what I told the answer. Okay, fine. Okay. Guess no, this answer is all. Fine. We're going to the next slide. Resources have alternative uses. We know that, right? So, scarcity, the term we discussed. Scarcity in economics is the short supply of resources in relation to the demand. Resources of the economy are scarce, with the result that the economy can't produce all that the society needs. So, no economy is able to produce all the goods that are required for an entire society. It is impossible. Okay. So, no economy is filled with all the resources. In some economy, we can find the capital, but labor is less. In some economy, we can find the labor, but what is less there? Capital is less or short there. So no economy is filled with all these factors or all these resources. Okay. So what is the relation with the price and scarcity? If the higher the scarcity or greater scarcity, that leading to higher price. Higher price. Scarcity is higher, price also higher. It will increase. Price of the commodity will increase. We know that. Petrol, diamonds are example for that. Next one, lesser scarcity, lesser prices. Okay. The thing is abundantly available. So price of the commodity will reduce, or no, sometimes no price also. Some things are there, some resources are there, basically considering as no scarcity, no price. Okay. No scarcity, no price. What are they? Air, we breathe, sunlight, wind. Okay. Like that many things are there. Okay. We don't want to pay for it. Okay. It is freely available in the nature. Okay. All these points are clear? Hanna Salim? Hanna?
Yes, sir.
Clear?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So we know that we discussed about the central problems of an economy, what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. Now we're going to discuss about a market economy. Market economy. What is a market economy? What is that? Anyone can say? What is a market economy? Aparna, can you say what is a market economy?
So market economy is an economic system in which the economic decisions and price of the goods are taken by an individual.
So interaction between the businessman or businessman or the individuals, that will create the price. Okay. They are fixing the price related with the mutual understanding. Basically, who will fix the price? The producer will fix the price in the market economy. Market economy. Okay. So in the market economy, the producer will fix the price. Yes or no? So that's what we discussed there. Basically, the parties involved are usually buyers and sellers. Okay. Related with the supply and related with the demand, the producer will fix the price of the commodity. Okay, so basically market economy related with two economical systems. One is capitalism, other is a mixed economy. Mixed economy and capitalist economy, we are able to find the system of market economy. Market economy, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Next, we are discussing about command economy. Command economy. What is command economy? What is that? In which who will take the decision in the command economy?
Government.
Who will take the decision? The
The
government. The government. Okay. Such kind of economies are basically called as the centrally planned economies. Centrally planned economies, right? Yes or no? Centrally planned economy, where the government will take the decision. Government will take the decision. Clear? Okay. The last point we are discussing about normative economics and positive economics. Normative economics and positive economics. Yesterday we discussed this point here. So what is positive economics and what is normative economics? In positive economics, basically, positive economics is the objective, other normative economics is subjective. Okay, normative economic theory, that is subjective. Same time, positive economic theory, it is a objective. So positive economics basically related with the facts and actual economic performance. Okay, what are the things that are going on in at present? What is the demand? What is the supply? What are the market experiences? Okay, so in positive economics, we'll discuss that. But in normative economics, basically, we will discuss about what do we want to do next? What do we want to do next? Okay, here is that. What should be done? Okay, what should be done? So basically, that giving prescriptions, suggestions. Okay, next one in positive economics, basically that related with this basis for predicting. So related with the present situation, we are able to predict. Basically, we are able to predict the supply of the commodity. We are able to predict the demand for the commodity. We are able to predict the price fluctuations. The price is going to increase or decrease. We are able to say related with the demand and the supply. That we can strictly connecting with the positive economics. Positive economics. Okay. But normative economics, that is always giving suggestions or recommendations. Recommendation for changes. Want to increase the supply or not? Want to decrease the demand or not? Okay. Or want to improve the price or want to decrease the price. Like that, they can give us suggestions. Basically, normative economics, we're discussing about how to give suggestions related with the market situations. Okay. So, positive economics that is free from subjective idea, and normative economics is always subjective. Basically, giving importance for personal value judgments. Okay. Related with the individual's growth. So positive economics, we can say it's the approach of a scientist, and the normative economics is the approach of a politician. Okay. So is that clear for you? If these many points are clear or not?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. In this chapter, one more topic is there. We already know that that is deleted from the syllabus. It's called to be production possibility frontier or production possibility curve. Okay. I just say that, just take it from me and keep it in your mind. That is nothing important. I may not ask for the examination, I think. Okay. So the thing is production possibility frontier. Okay. So what is that production possibility frontier? Okay. Production possibility frontier is nothing but what the resources we have with us. We want to utilize that to produce various goods. Okay. Example, you like chocolates. You like chocolates. You have rupees 50 with you. Rupees 50 with you. Okay. Just imagine rupees 50 with you. So this 50 rupees is considering as your resource. What is the resource here? What is the resource here?
50 rupees.
That 50 rupees is your resource. Okay. You like to purchase chocolates and you are going to purchase also. But in your mind, there is two variables are there. Okay. One is you like dairy milk. Other is you like 5-star. Okay. So in the shop, two chocolates are there. Two different types of chocolates are there. One is dairy milk. Other is a 5-star. If you are purchasing, price for these chocolates is one unit 5 rupees. Okay. Both Cadbury's I mean dairy milk and 5-star. Both cost for 1 unit it is 5 rupees. So you can purchase, how many units you can purchase? Maximum 10 units you can purchase, right? So 10 into 5, 50. In which you want to decide how many Cadbury's, dairy milk, and how many 5-star. If you are going for a 3 5-star, you can purchase 7 dairy milk, right? Yes or no? Is that correct or not?
Yes, sir.
You can purchase only 10 units, right? You can purchase only 10 units. If you are going to purchase 3 5-star, you can purchase only 7 dairy milk. Vice versa, right? So you are going to purchase 7 5-star. You are only able to purchase 3 dairy milk. So 5 dairy milk, 5 5-star. 4 dairy milk, 6 5-star. So is that clear for you? So if you are using your resource to purchase one product, what will happen there? You are unable to purchase the second product. Or the number or the quantity of the second product will reduce. Clear? Yes or no? That is going to be production possibility. Basically, you want to understand that if you are using our resources to produce food grains rather than weapons, the amount of weapon what we are producing reduce, the amount of food grains will increase. This is called to be basically called as the gun and apple equilibrium. Gun and apple equilibrium. Just take it from me. Okay. If you are using the resources to produce one particular product, what will happen there? The amount of the other products that what we are going to produce will reduce. That only. Clear? Example, we have 10 rupees with us. We want to produce wheat and paddy or rice. Wheat and paddy. Okay. So if you want to produce 1 kilogram of wheat, you want to spend 5 rupees. 5 rupees. How much is there with you? 10 rupees. Okay. If you want to produce wheat, you want to spend 5 rupees. You want to produce paddy also, you want to spend 5 rupees. So you spending 10 rupees to produce wheat. What is the production of paddy or rice? What will the production there? Can anyone say that? Can anyone say that? What I told. We want to produce wheat and rice. Okay. The production cost for 1 kilogram of wheat is 5 rupees. And the production cost of 1 kilogram of rice also 5 rupees. Okay. Is that clear? You spend your 10 rupees to produce wheat. I mean 2 kilogram of wheat. And what will be the production of rice?
0.
0. That only. Okay. Understand? If you have 50 rupees means 15 rupees with you. You produce 2 units for a 2 kilogram. I mean 10 rupees for a 2 kilogram of rice. And what will be the production of wheat? Now your resource increased to 15 rupees. 1. Okay. So that is called to be what a production possibility. The resources we are allocating between 2 variables or 2 different products. We are using more of our resource to produce one product. The quantity of other product will reduce. That is the thing. What you want to understand from the production possibility. So tomorrow we will start. So this chapter's notes are uploaded already, right?